So very rarely do I ever do a review on a car, but I feel like this one just kind of deserved it. So right now I'm driving a 2024 Jeep Compass base model for my rental car because my Flex is in the shop due to deer damage. And I just wanted to go over some of the things that I like and don't like about it. Just getting a chance to drive this vehicle for about a week or so far. I've really just had a chance to kind of get a feel for it. Thinking company car wise, it's actually been really nice because it gets pretty good gas mileage. It's, you know, decently solid. It drives all right. Like, it's decently comfortable. Like, it's not too bad for that $30,000 base price, brand new, driving it off the lot at 0 miles. So if I hit okay on these messages here, you'll see that right now my average is 20.1. That's basically just city driving and kind of hammering on it some. On the highway, I have been able to achieve 30, almost 40 miles per gallon pretty easy. So combined, it ends up being around 30. I do like the vehicle for sure, but I do have some gripes about it as well. The back seats are decently roomy. Even in the base model, you get things like this for cups and whatnot. If you put that back up, you'll notice that you've got climate back here. I know it's a little bit hard to see, but you've got climate, USB, basically anything that you would want. It is definitely a vehicle that's on the smaller side. So if you open up the trunk here, which it's not a power lift, it's just you, it has a electronic button right here that you push in, and then it has a electric motor that releases the latch. And then you just have hydraulics that are just holding it up. But I do appreciate back here, I do like that there's these little compartments that give you just a little bit more room. These are also removable, so if you ever needed to clean them or anything, you could. It's like that on both sides. And then if you look, you got these nice, they actually give you 2 LEDs, which I'm not used to. I'm usually used to just having one from the ceiling, but they give you 2 LEDs. It actually lights it up pretty decently back here. I wanted to film this at night so you'd kind of get an example of it. I've been able to easily fit in my, you know, film equipment and whatnot on the way to shoots back here. You also get a 12-volt outlet on the rear panel. Not too bad. Build quality wise back here, it's not nearly as bad as my Ford. That's for sure. It doesn't creak when you press on it, and it doesn't feel like super cheap. I'm not going to say it feels premium because it's not an $80,000 car and it's not designed to be, but it's actually pretty decent. You do get nice white LED license plate lights. I feel like that's pretty standard now, especially it being a 2024. The headlights are nice and bright. They are LEDs, of course. The high beams are nice and bright. I actually like the low beams in this a little bit more than I do in my Ford Flex. So here's the high beams. Work pretty well. It does have automatic high beams, which honestly kind of surprised me because it's just a base model. But I mean, I guess, you know, in 2024, that stuff is really just base features. You also get, you can turn the auto start stop off, traction, and then you also have your lane assistance, which already at 40,000 miles, this one's having problems, I will say. Every time I hit the brakes, it seems like maybe there's a sensor in the front that's going out. Every time I hit the brakes, it says active lane assistance or whatever needs serviced and whatnot. But you can turn that off if you don't like it. Basically what it'll do is it'll just kind of jiggle the steering wheel a little bit if you start moving out of your lane, which can be kind of helpful, like if you're grabbing something from like your center console or whatnot. Another thing that I really do like about this is, and maybe this is just a Jeep thing and I'm just not used to it because I'm a Ford and a Chevy guy, but if you look right there, there's this LED in the center there, but it's not real bright. Like if you're looking at it from over here, it doesn't look, you know, it's not in your eyes or anything, but it actually lights up this area down here. There's actually a control switch over on the side here, and you can change how much it lights up your center console area. So that's just like a nice little feature. And then of course you have your dash dimming, which will dim basically everything. You even get these nice little door LEDs, which is just like a nice bonus feature. I feel like there's 2 dials down here, one that controls that center light and the door handle light, and then the other one does just all the dash button lighting and the transmission letters and everything. A couple things that I don't like about the vehicle, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut the door. One thing that I noticed is really weird, right? So if I'm gonna go ahead and just turn on the interior lights here. If I go ahead and shift this into drive, right? Notice how easy this shifts in and out. My Ford's not like that. None of my Chevys were ever like that. I am a person that does like to rest their hand right here when they're driving, and I feel like every time like you take a turn, you're accidentally just shifting it over to manual selection. Or like if you hit the brakes a little bit hard, hello Brad, but if you hit the brakes a little bit hard, you're like, if you have your hand here, you just go forward and you just go straight into neutral. So that I definitely did not like. The stock sound system in here was actually very impressive. It's, you know, nothing crazy, but you're just getting your standard, you know, door speaker, tweeter. Those tweeters are actually pretty solid. Tweeter, and then some two rear speakers. So just that stock Jeep system, not that Alpine upgrade. So it's just a 6-speaker system. You do get a little bit of mirror shake with it. It's actually not bad. It does distort when you get to higher volumes. So if you're kind of coming up to like volume 30, kind of volume 32, you are going to start seeing some distortion. One thing that did really surprise me was this display that they have in the middle here. The quality is ridiculous. Now it does run faster than this. It's just the fact that I'm recording on my phone, so it's not running at 60 frames per second right now, but the quality really shocked me. It's decent color, decent quality. Like if you actually look, you don't see every single pixel like you do in most modern cars. The CarPlay is pretty responsive. I think the Uconnect system from Jeep actually makes a lot of sense. I absolutely love that we kept these physical buttons, unlike my Ford, but I love that we kept these physical buttons. I like that I can just hold on to the button and it'll just start adjusting, unlike my Ford. It's just very simple. It like makes a lot of sense. You got your volume, you can control your fan speed here, AC off, AC on, and then you can just put it all the way to cold, or you can just press it and just do that, or on the screen you can just tap there and you can adjust stuff there. So I will give props to Jeep on that one. I feel like that's a very convenient feature, just having real physical buttons. I also absolutely love that they've put a screen off button on there, because, you know, sometimes your screen is like the brightest thing ever while you're driving, but you can just hit screen off and it'll actually just completely shut it off. You'll still get all audio, you'll still get volume controls, your steering wheel controls, you'll get all that, but it just won't have the screen on. Now you could just touch it to come back on, or you could hit screen off one more time. Now you do get Type-C and regular USB-A down here. They don't charge very quick. I haven't done an actual test on them, but if I had to guess, it's about probably 10 watts, give or take. CarPlay has a minimum of 2.1 amps, so it may just be 2.1 amps. It does have an electronic e-brake. Typically, I hate electronic e-brakes, but I actually don't hate this one. Typically, once you shift out of park, it just kind of turns itself off, which in this case, it's not, but usually it does. Over here, you have your mode selector. So you got auto, you've got snow, and then you've got mud and sand, which work decently well. I have played around with the sand and mud mode a little bit, so basically that'll just keep your RPMs up. This is a 4-wheel drive vehicle, so yeah. And then you have the option to separately just lock the 4-wheel drive there. Another thing I don't like, this center console is really small. Like I just put a couple napkins in there and it's like already full. Like there's like no room to put anything in there at all. It's like, here's the size of my hand, right? Like I can't even, like with my hand spread open, I can't even fit it in the glove box. So that part I'm not a fan of, but overall, I actually don't completely hate this Jeep like I thought I was going to. They handed me the keys and I was like, you know, I'm going to end up switching this, but I didn't. I'm actually pretty surprised with the way Jeep did this. Great gas mileage. And yeah, the only other big gripe I have is the 4-cylinder motor that's in it. It's I believe it's a 2-liter 4-cylinder. It does have a small turbo. It is the smallest engine I've ever seen, and it is a pain in the ass to drive. So if I open it up and kind of just show you here, I'll also shut it off, just get rid of that noise. If I kind of open it up and show you here, you'll see what I mean pretty much instantly. Now the hood is not held with hydraulics, so there is a little stick that you actually have to put up there. But I know it's a little hard to see because it's night, but there's nothing there. There's nothing there. So merging on the highway is honestly the scariest thing I've ever done in this car. It has this terrible, I feel like all new vehicles do, it has this terrible terrible lag with the accelerator. So when you hit the accelerator, it takes like a good 4 seconds to actually accelerate, which is kind of scary. And then of course it's a tiny little 4-cylinder with like no power, so it just sucks to merge on the highway with as is. So now that it's daytime here, I'm gonna kind of give an example. So as you can see, my foot down there, I have it on the brake right now. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of floor it just to kind of show you where we're at. So now right now the auto start stop is on. So I'll go ahead and let go of the brake, let it start up. Okay. So when I'm talking about slow throttle response, this is what I mean. Floor. Floor. It doesn't seem all that bad whenever you're like at a stop, but like, okay, right now, so like I'm rolling, right? I'm gonna go ahead and give it some gas. Gas. See, of course, when I start, you know, taking a video, it's not so bad. Gas. See how it just takes a couple seconds to actually get moving? So like right here, as you can see, I'm like leaving the parking lot. Like I always feel like I have to give it a little bit more gas here just to actually get going. Like I feel like I almost have to floor it some. So like gas. See, like we're going nowhere. And I just gave it a little bit of gas. So you kind of have to like floor it just to get anywhere. Okay, now we're actually up to speed, and you can actually see the person behind was able to catch up because it's just that slow. Like if you don't floor it, you are going absolutely nowhere. I hate vehicles like this. Like I feel like even my 2009 Pontiac G6 wasn't this bad. Yeah, it's just very slow response. Like if it's not even the fact that the engine's slow, because that's really not the biggest issue. Like yeah, it's a tiny engine and whatnot. It's just that new cars are programmed to be so slow with the throttle. Like there's my G6. I love my G6. But like new cars are just programmed to be so laggy with the throttle, and that's to get good gas mileage. But if you have to floor it everywhere, gas mileage doesn't matter. You're not going to get good gas mileage anyway. And I have Brad's pizza in my car, and as you can see, he looks like he's probably about to murder me. So I'm going to go ahead and end this review, but I just wanted to make a little video on it. So yeah, good job, Jeep. Not too many things I hate about this, and I'm always picky with my vehicles. So see you guys in the next one. Peace.